So, how do you go from this to this to this? Let's take a look at Badminton Under the Microscope today. So I'm starting a new series, and you could have guessed it from the title of this video. In this series, I'll be taking a much closer look at the things we use for badminton under the microscope. Very simple concept. So in today's episode, I'll be looking at badminton strings using two types of microscopes, an optical microscope and a scanning electron microscope, also known as SEM. So the optical microscope will have a live video feed, which I will show you live of what I see from the microscope, and the scanning electron microscope will produce images such as these. So with the scanning electron microscopes, you can really get high magnification images out of them. So essentially, the samples are placed in a vacuum chamber and blasted with tons of charged electrons before the sensor picks up a response to build the image that we see here. So to start things off, I have some badminton strings around the house, so I brought them to the lab for testing. So the models of strings that we're going to be looking at today is the legendary Yonex BG80, which I have in two colors here, the pink and the sky blue version. I also have the up-and-coming ultra-popular Aerobite string, which is what I use personally myself. It is a hybrid string. And ultimately, we have the BG66 Ultimax. Three different strings, or actually four in this case, because the Aerobite effectively has the Aerosonic, which is used as the cross string. It is Yonex's thinnest string at 0.61 millimeters. So to enhance the impact of this video, if you have your racket around you, pause the video and go whip out your racket. This will give you some perspective of what you're about to see. So I'm taking this craft mat and laying it as a base on the optical microscope. I'm also using my fingers to hold the string as well as to magnify and focus here. So to give you some perspective, each square along the mat is 1 centimeter in both height and length. So let's take a look at the BG80 string first, and here you can see the pink version of the BG80. You can see how fat my fingers are now whilst I zoom in closer into this string. So now that we've got as close as we can with this microscope, which I believe is about 25 times magnification, you can clearly see the Yonex BG80 printing. And so if you've got your badminton racket with you, go take a closer look at your strings printing now and feel how much magnification we've had to clearly see this right now. So we can see that there are plenty of fibers weaved across on the inside of the string, then encased in the pink outer casing here. So next, have you also noticed the little holes on the BG80 casing? So they're here, here, and here. So BG80 is known for being a grippy string and has a rough feeling, but I never expected to see holes on the outer casings like this. So if we now quickly jump onto the sky blue version of the BG80, here you can actually better see the internals of the string and the holes, perhaps due to a more transparent outer casing. It just feels like there's plenty of filaments and fibers across the inside of the core of the string, which is correct, as all Yonex Badminton strings are multi-filament strings. If we refer to the image from Yonex BG80's packaging, I guess we can actually see the weaves from the packaging transfer onto the actual string, so that's good to see. So we now look at the internal core and filaments of the BG80. So let's go back to the pink version, and here I hope YouTube's compression hasn't destroyed any of the detail here, but I hope you can see there's a lot of individual filaments in here, and I'm trying to use the tweezers to poke and mess around with them. I'd like to feel them and see if they actually move around in this case. They actually felt very soft and feels like they've got a stretchy feeling to it, as they're nylon filaments, so I guess they fit the criteria for being stretchy and being able to store a lot of energy under tension. So here's an image of the inner filaments from the SEM when they're cut without a super sharp pair of cutters. They go everywhere, and you can now see how fine each filament is, and imagine how many of them do you need to make a single string. So I'll be making all the SEM images you see here in this video available for free to download off my website at full resolution. So go check them out at ckYW.com. I'll post a link in the description below. So back to the pink BG80, and I do have to admit the black stuff was from my tweezers, not from the string itself. So here's another shot of the blue BG80 with some strands of its multi-filament core hanging out. So you can see how fine each of the nylon filaments are as we quickly zoom into some SEM images for the BG80. So here's a photo of the BG80 in pink, magnified to around 25 times in the SEM. And do you now see the amount of holes on the string clearly? I thought this was extremely interesting to see holes on what felt like such a textured feeling string. So here we are zoomed into 50 times magnification, trying to focus in on a hole. So we're now clearing 200 times magnification, and bearing in mind I have no idea what I was supposed to be expecting to see inside the little holes of the string. I somewhat was expecting to be able to see the inner nylon filaments, but at these scales I think the nylon core are still quite far away. What do you guys think about this? Comment down in the section below. So right, let's get out of this hole and get back onto other strings. So we now look at the second string type, which is the Aerobite. So stringers and users of Aerobite know that this string is really grippy and it bites onto the shuttle really well. So from my recent racket research of players at the Olympics, video right here, I also realized there's quite a lot of number of players using Aerobite. So they're easier to spot than other strings because of their dual colored nature, with the mains and the crosses both in different string colors because they're a hybrid string. So additionally, the main string is the one that is grippy, whereas the cross string, which is Yonex's Aerosonic, it feels very fine and very smooth in comparison. So we're going to start with the grippy mains. So again, looking with the optical microscope, I realized the Aerobite lettering has two extra little triangles, or love hearts, whichever way, before and at the end of the Aerobite printing. So this might be a unique thing, as I've not seen it on any other Yonex string currently. However, you can see the weaves are finer and tighter compared to the BG80. And you can again see some slight holes on the casing of the string as well. So maybe this is a design feature of a grippy badminton string for Yonex. What do you think? So let's now take a closer look at the core of the Aerobite string. So this one looks a lot cleaner cut, as well as less contaminated from my previously dirty tweezer. You can see how fine these individual strands are here too, so pretty cool. So let's now optically compare the second half of the Aerobite string, which is the Aerosonic cross string. So instantly you can actually see the string is smoother and less textured compared to the red main string, and it is also thinner in diameter as well. Oh yes, I've now added the BG66 Ultimax in here for further comparison too. So you can now see how smooth the Ultimax string is, but thicker than the Aerosonic in this instance. The Ultimax also look a lot shinier under the light as well, although I didn't think there was much of a difference in color, as both sets of strings were in white. If you like something like this, make sure you smash the like and subscribe button as well. I'll also take this opportunity to quickly show you more of the 66 Ultimax string on its own before showing you lots of SEM images of them. So the string is clearly shinier than the rest of the group, and here also you can see there are very fine weaves on the outer casing. So it's like we can almost see inside the filaments of the string. I've also quickly put the pink BG80 back on just to compare the texture, and we can see both strings here. See how bumpy and more textured the casing of the BG80 is compared to the 66 Ultimax? So the BG80 is certainly thicker than the Ultimax in this case as well. So unfortunately we can't see through both outer casings at this point, so let's take a closer look at some SEM images of them all. So here's a picture of how small I've had to cut each piece of sample string to fit into the vacuum chamber. Each black carbon dot is only about 1 centimeter in diameter, so you can imagine how small each piece of sample string is inside the chamber. So here at 25 times magnification, you can see again the two BG80s with lots of holes in the casing construction and a significantly smoother Aerosonic next to them. So we now move on to the next image here, showing mainly the Aerobite and the 66 Ultimax, and you can see some holes in the Aerobite casing, but not as many as the BG80. See the weaves on the Aerobite string? You can now also spot the actual texture pattern on the Aerobite from this image as well. If we now look at the BG66 Ultimax, I'm not too sure why the white spots are here in this case, but it could be the reflective materials from the string of what we saw underneath the optical microscope earlier on. I'm not too sure, but clearly the BG66 Ultimax is smooth. Let's now look at the internal filaments of the 66 Ultimax, and this is magnified at 50 times, and see how the casing is slightly crushed on the bottom, whilst some of the filaments are squashed before breaking off or being cut. So here's another view at 100 times magnification, and here this one's at 200 times magnification. So taking the scale at the bottom into consideration, I'm estimating each nylon inner filament to be around 20 microns, and that's less than half the thickness of a human hair, which is typically around 70 microns. So mind blown. So we now go back to the Aerobite, and you can again see some flattened or crushed filaments before they were cut. and I'm not too sure if they use the same inner filaments for each or all of the string. And here's another close-up of it at 100 times mag, also taking notice of the holes again. Getting closer to the hole at 200 times magnification of the Aerobite string, and here's the Aerosonic, much smoother with finer holes compared to the Aerobite, but not as smooth as the 66 Ultimax. Some more close-ups here at 100 and 200 times magnification. So we now ultimately go back to some BG80 action and check out the holes on these. I hope you found this interesting. Smash the subscribe and like buttons if you do. Let me know what else you want me to take a look in the series, and more episodes coming soon. See you in the next one.